Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah for those of you celebrating out there. It is the end of 2024. This is our best of 2024. All year long, what's happened in the best of Baltimore Sports 2024. Happy holidays out there to you, everyone. Hopefully, you have a good 2025, a good start to 2025. Um, Long year this year, as they all are. So thank you very much for joining us. We had the most people ever watch the Ravori Sports podcast as far as the videos. We were able to join network, drive to the cast, drive to the top productions, and all that. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining us out here this year, 2024. Let's recap it as we're going to do here on. Oh, not with that. We're going to talk about him. Obviously. So thank you very much for joining us here. Genesis Notary Services at Facebook.com. Definitely, if you want to book sites starting next 2025, we are wedding efficient. If you need that, if you are looking for somebody to officiate your wedding, you are looking for somebody field inspection. If you just need pictures of that house in the Winchester area, we definitely can do that for you. You need general notary. If you need real estate notary done, we definitely can do all that stuff for you. Genesis Notary Services as well. Harris Legal Shield. Definitely, if you have any legal assistance that you need, definitely go ahead and give us a call. Happy to go ahead and call Harris Legal Shield. Look, man, there's several different packages. They have several different tiers. Very cheap considering the cost of a lawyer. You can get a will done. You can get on-the-spot representation. You can get it's definitely, you can't beat it. I think, like, for the cost, let me tell you something. It's definitely, if you're a business owner, you know this. You spend like $100 sometimes pick it up. You'll get a bill for $100. Anybody $150 just to talk to a lawyer for like 5 minutes. Like, that will happen. That is not the case with Legal Shield. Legal Shield will absolutely do that for you. And ravorisports.company.site, getting that app. We're finally getting it squared away. Finally getting that app squared away. Definitely as well taking care of that right now. All right. So let's look at 2024. That happened, the year that was, in terms of sports. Let's start a little bit with the Terps. So Maryland football was very disappointing this season as well. A lot of talk about Mike Loxley keeping his job. Terps, I think, not nearly as good this year as they have been in previous years as well. Not a great season. I think on offense, though, Ty Felton is fantastic. I think he was the best Terps player on offense all season. Ty Felton, I think, was last year. You basically could say they had a trio of good receivers. This year, it was Ty Felton. He was the guy. I think definitely having Billy Edwards in. Billy Edwards was not nearly as good as Tulia Tagovailoa up and down. But definitely Felton, I think, really separated himself. There's no question about it here. I thought definitely stat-wise, I think he was fantastic. I definitely think he was the guy. I mean, definitely as far as offense, there's no question about it. Over 1,000 yards receiving. Definitely, I think this is the Terps' outstanding player on offense. Ty Felton, the receiver. On defense. This was hard. I really think a lot of people are gonna say Ruben Hippolyte was the best player on the defense for Maryland. People keep telling me that. I kind of see him, and I see kind of like what I saw with Jadeveon Clowney, a phenomenal athlete, definitely one of the leaders in tackles on the team as well. Hippolyte had, I think it was 63 tackles, definitely that. But not a guy fundamentally sound as well. Dante Trader, I think, is probably the one guy probably going in the NFL draft, going to the next level. So there's no question about that. But Glendon Miller, I think, is an excellent DB. I think he's a guy that can play corner, nickel corner, safety, that new type of thing where you see now that is a starter role on the team. So that's definitely something where
Well, call girls before you start.
All right. So Glendon Miller was the best on the Terps defense. Overall disappointing from the Terps though this year. 4-8. Didn't play well at all. At times, offense I think was kind of up and down. I think they really missed their offense too many times. They're going to have to get better on defense going forward in 2025. So that's definitely an issue with them going forward. 2025, they had to go ahead and get better on defense. Good job, Jordan. Good job. Terps. Jameer Young. I think I almost wanted to put Derek Queen, even though he's only been playing for the Terps about a month. But going by last season, where would they have been without Jameer Young? Again, down year for Terps basketball as well. Um, they were so reliant offensively on Jameer Young. They really were. Jameer Young was an outstanding offensive player, now playing in the D League. Well, whatever they're calling it now, NBA G League or whatever they're calling it, CBA. he may I think get to the NBA at some point. I think he continues to work at it, no question about it. But I think it was all they had to do was give him the ball and score. No other offense on that team. Terps last season couldn't shoot. Good defensively. I think they really hustled hard. Kevin Willen got him to hustle hard defensively, but basically they had Juju Reese had some good nights. Dante Scott had some good nights. But yeah, they really didn't have a lot of offense at all. They didn't really score. DHS really didn't contribute, I think, as well as they had hoped as well. So easy. Jameer Young, definitely the best Terp basketball last year. Terps much better going into this season as well. Obviously, got in the top 25 of the coaches poll, but just a struggle last year. I think it was pretty obvious around the midpoint that they would not be the best team as they were in history. Next, Brandon Hyde gets the best Baltimore coach 2025. Mike Loxley struggled. Kevin Willard struggled. So, and you look at John Harbaugh last year, I think disappointing. I think the Ravens, despite their record, they were 13-3. They had the best record in the AFC. I thought Harbaugh didn't do well in the playoffs. I think that's tough enough. Now, you could say the same about Brandon Hyde, but I think the Orioles were much more where they should have been as well. I think Brandon Hyde is a terrific manager as well. I think he handles situations well. I think he very calm on the field. He's a bit. I think him and Michael Elias both are kind of non-committal at times. I think I'd like to see them be a little bit more upfront. But he's a bit more covert, I think. But that's kind of just 2024 business, the way business is done. People are stealth now. They're distant. They don't show. Where does somebody play? Well, there's a multiple. That's just kind of how managers and management operates, not just in sports and a lot of things. But Brandon Hyde, I thought, got the Orioles to about 91 wins. They were behind the Yankees. I think the Yankees were the bigger problem why they didn't get as far. But I'm taking Brandon Hyde over John Harbaugh, I think, as far as for the best coach. The Terps really struggled as well last year. Kevin Willard was better. Got him going this year. But I definitely think out of all the local Baltimore teams, definitely it was, I think, Brandon Hyde, I think, gets the award best of 2024. I think Lamar Jackson in 2024, we're talking more about this football season, even if I wasn't last year, Lamar Jackson. This is something we've never seen. What we're seeing to him with Lamar is the best as a passer as well. The best as a passer. He's not just in the pocket, but he's not a traditional pocket passer. He embraces it. He creates space, the running lanes. He makes sure he remembers that you're going to run past him. He's actually learned now how to do that. Offensive line, I thought, too, what more impressed me about Lamar, who was also best Raven offensively, obviously, not only just the best in the NFL, but what's really impressed me about Lamar is how bad the line has been for the Ravens. The line has not been really good. I think the left side has been good. They may all be gone in free agency. Linderbaum, I think, is going to be the linchpin going forward. The right side, I think, has struggled. You got a rookie over there on one side. You got Daniel Falele, who's awful, I think, for the most part this season. So I think Lamar has been fantastic. You look at other guys, say Flowers has been good. Derrick Henry, I think, is really I have no problem if somebody says Derrick Henry, but definitely I think Lamar is the engine that's running this still. So definitely have to say Lamar Jackson, best Raven offensive player and the best in the NFL on offense as well. Switching to baseball, I think the best players and the all right, fix that graphic there. All right, so last year in Major League Baseball, I think these two guys are just running away with the show in the entire league. I mean, I wish I could give you something else. Gunnar Henderson, I think, was fantastic last year, as far as in either league. Bobby Witt, I think, would have won, I think, MVP, I think, in any other year except that one he had. We know how good of a player Mookie Betts is. As well, but these two guys are the MLB as far as the best. I didn't even separate them. I think one guy in the NL now that Ohtani's in the NL, and now you got Judge in the AL. There's clear separation with everybody else where these guys are outstanding. Ohtani, as good as he was even last year, we didn't even see him on the mound like we will probably in 2025. Judge, I think, is on a league of his own. Him having Soto on his team just put him even further in the stratosphere as well. This year, he's going to maybe have more energy back in right field. So I think these two guys, I didn't separate them at all. Number one, I think the best of the year. I think no question about it. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, no question about it. In the NBA, I took Luka Doncic. I thought it was the best of the year. Very close over Jason Tatum as well. I think too many people are thinking still LeBron James and Curry are the best players in the league still. That's not true. That's not true anymore. I mean, they are outstanding players. I think you watch can't watch ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever, you would think that they still are. They're not. In the Olympics, I thought that was kind of cheesy. I mean, they did win, but I mean, they did win. I mean, as far as having a good American team as well, I think this kind of like their version of the last ride. But Luka Doncic is unbelievable. I think like the thing is, this natural ability is fantastic. Nothing he doesn't do well. I mean, the only thing with him is I think he's just got to get in a little better shape. I think he's got to get more natural. I think his natural ability. But there's nothing he doesn't well. He's got size to box you out. He can shoot the ball well. He can handle the ball well. He's not great on defense yet. I think he just needs to put a little bit more work in, get a little more help on his team as well. But he took his team all the way to the finals. I'm picking him over Tatum a little bit as well, simply because I think Tatum also, too, was on a better team, him and Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown is a little bit closer to him, kind of like similar to like Lamar and Derrick Henry. You know, I think some of his success where I think Doncic it's so close anyway. I think I gave a little bit of a nod to Doncic because there is nobody else on that Mavericks team to help Luka Doncic. So definitely that is number one. I think he was the best player in the NBA as well. Look at the defense here for the Ravens. This was huge. Marlon Humphrey, I thought, was under a lot of pressure this year. I really had him on the hot seat. I did a video before the season, which Ravens are on the hot seat. Big contract number, really kind of subpar last year because of injuries. Not the same. Missed playoff game, missed late in the year. Marlon Humphrey has been fantastic. No question about it. they've had some good players with this year. Manabuke with the big contract, lots of double teams. He's been solid. Kyle Van Noy was solid. Owe, possibly with the 10 sacks this Saturday. We'll see how Owe does. I think Kyle Hamilton, we know how good Kyle Hamilton is, but I cannot overstate how good Marlon Humphrey has been for the Ravens, for this Ravens team this year. I think that was something else as well, what he has done. Definitely under a lot of pressure. He's really invigorated his career, very invigorated the team. I got nothing but good things to say about the way Marlon Humphrey has looked this year. Fantastic. So Marlon Humphrey, I think definitely we're talking about defensive players. I don't think there's any question about it. Where Marlon Humphrey is the best defensive player of the year for the Ravens. Here we go.
Orioles 5,
Game of the
Yankees
year.
3. Ninth inning. The Orioles need just one more out to finish it off. 2-0. Orioles 5, Yankees 3. Ninth inning. The Orioles need just one more out to finish it off. 2-0. And that's a fly ball out to left field. Kowser goes to his left. He's under it. He makes the catch. Check it off. The Orioles win this game by a final score of 5-3. Tonight, we are popping champagne in the Big Apple.
So let's get it on. We got 5 more games to go to approve. And then it's the playoffs. Let's go!
Been a tough few months.
So popping the champagne bottles with the game of the year. September 25th, 2024, Orioles clinching the AL East, not the AL East this year, but the playoff spot over the Yankees as well, getting into the playoffs. I thought the Orioles were the best franchise of the year. I think definitely, too, they had the best game. I thought that was satisfying to actually go ahead and actually win the division in Yankee Stadium of all places. And also, too, as well, I thought they were right where they should be. I know some fans were disappointed. Obviously, we lost in the playoffs. I think the offseason was more disappointing than the actual play season as well. I thought the Orioles were terrific last year. I thought they were the best franchise in Baltimore sports as well. They had the game of the year, winning the actual division, I said it again, the precursor for next year, hopefully, winning the division, actually getting in the playoffs for the best of Baltimore sports. Thank you so much. Let's call it a year here as well. So thank you very much for joining us here on the last time in 2024, the Ravori Sports podcast. We will see you for our regular podcast here next week, talking about the Browns. We're going to talk about the college football potential playoffs coming up. And also, too, we're going to talk about who are the best 20 Orioles of all time. Y'all have a great day.